Well, Roy, nice to see you again.
Thank you.
Could you just give us an injury update as to how the squad is doing at this moment in time? I know you've had a few players playing on the 23s and some recovering from injuries.
Yeah, no, we've recovered well. It's only, of course, Joel Ward who was taken off, and his injury, I'm afraid, is going to keep him out for a number of weeks, but he's the only one at the moment.
And how's Mamadou as well? Last week?
He's fine. He's been fine for a while, Mamadou. I mean, of course, this last 2 weeks he's been training, so it's just a question of, getting back, if you like, to the sort of full fitness level that he wants to achieve, and to do that, of course, he's got to play some matches.
You as an experienced manager, you see many Decembers in the Premier League and across the world. Does minute management kind of come into your kind of mindset at this stage with so many games happening in and around Christmas period?
Absolutely it does, yeah. It's a time when your squad is really tested out, and you really need everybody in good form, in good physical condition and in good mental condition, because it's unrealistic, I think, to expect 11 players to carry out every 95 minutes that you're going to play. So it's very important that everyone's ready, everyone's anxious to get in and play, and anxious to do well when they get their chance.
How would you kind of assess your last few games? I mean, you started off so fantastic in the beginning of the season. Let's say there's been mixed sort of form in the last 5 games or so, but how would you assess it as the manager?
Well, it depends depends whether you're going to confuse form with results. I don't know that we're in mixed form. Our form hasn't particularly dipped from the Man City game through to the Liverpool game. We've had 5 very tough fixtures. I don't think that we've performed at all badly in any of them, in actual fact. But of course, because we've been playing the top sides, we haven't been able, unfortunately, to get the points. But we've been close to doing so on a lot of occasions. So I personally would not, if you like, equate is probably a better word than confuse, equate form and results. I don't think our form is bad, but our results, of course, have been bad. But we feared that we might be in for that type of period when we looked at our fixture list and we saw that we were playing the top 5 teams in the country one after the other.
How do you kind of equate going into this game? Obviously you're up against Burnley, probably a team with a similar sort of level to yourself, but you know well equipped that Sean Dyche is going to have this team.
Absolutely. I mean, but that's, as we say here virtually every week, there's no game really that you can look forward to and think that we have a clear advantage in this game, and this is a game that, we can accept the role, if you like, of favourites to win, because the league is that competitive, and every team that we play has got a great chance of beating us, but we feel we've got a chance of beating them. Now, we weren't able to do that against these last 5, but before that we'd held our own quite well and got some points in the bag, and we've got to try and make certain that we don't allow the fact that playing the top 5 one after each other and not taking a large number of points is going to dent our confidence in terms of the games we've got going forward. But perhaps more importantly of all, we mustn't ourselves equate form and results. We have to accept that we've lost, but without playing badly, and a lot of the things we've done have been quite good, and if we can keep that going, we've got every chance to get results in the games we have coming up.
So many teams kind of equate Burnley with that sort of structure, rigid, you know what you're kind of getting, 2 very strong strikers as well. What do you kind of expect from them going into this?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a structure to your team. There's nothing wrong with having a style of play which gets the best out of them. There's nothing wrong with getting results and a lot of success with it, as Sean Dyche has done with his Burnley team. So we have every respect for them. We know they are a difficult nut to crack at all times. And we have to be ready, of course, for the type of game it's going to be. It won't be a similar game to the Man Cities and the Liverpools, Arsenals and Chelseas. It won't be a game exactly like that. It'll be a different game, but at the same time it will be an equally difficult game, in my opinion, because Burnley, they do know exactly what they're doing. They work very hard at it. They do it very well. And they make certain that your defence is put severely to the test. And as far as I can see, there's nothing wrong with that. It's up to us to try and deal with it and congratulate them on getting a team capable of doing it.
Winning in the Premier League is so hard, naturally. Well, winning away from home is even harder. Now, I'm going to give you a stat about Palace.
Good. Is it a good one?
Yeah, of course. You've actually won 5 of your last games outside of London, which means when you're on your travels. What is so special about when you kind of get the boys together and you decide you're going to do an away day?
No, it's an interesting statistic, and I'm pleased to hear it, but I'm afraid I don't have that magic formula that, well, when we play away from home, this is what we do. We prepare really for all of our games in a similar way, making certain that the players are aware of the challenges they're going to face with the next opponent, where we're going to be severely tested and where we think we can possibly test them. And then we work at that during the week, alongside, of course, our basic playing principles, which we work on all the time. So really nothing actually changes in that respect. But of course we do have players in our team that, if they're given time and space, are capable of using it and capable of, being quite dangerous opponents. Sometimes when you play at home, you don't get given that time and space. Away from home with the opposing team, feeling the onus on them to attack and go forward. Maybe there are more spaces sometimes for our players, and we do have pace in the team and we do have skill in the team. So that's the only sort of simple theory I can think of which has given us those away results. But we also have a degree of resilience, which is very important, and that's important both home and away. But if you do have a resilient squad, sometimes away from home that becomes more obvious to the eye.
Last couple for me, where it's just, you're a forward-thinking manager, you always have had to think forward, I guess, as in management anyway. With January just being around the corner, is there any sort of conversations you've had now with the owners about where areas you want to strengthen?
Oh, that's a continual process, really. It doesn't just wait for a month or two or a week or two before a transfer window comes along. There was many discussions before the last transfer window, and they spill over really into, well, what we didn't manage to achieve in the last one, can we achieve it in the next one? We are very aware of where there are gaps, if you like, in our squad that we need to either fill or to make certain that we get better cover, because there are areas of our team where the cover is very good. So we're fully aware of that. But of course you never know in a transfer market what's going to happen, what's going to come your way. And of course you never really know as a manager how much money the club is going to be able to release for you to maybe fulfil some of your wishes or some of your hopes. But it's certainly, I can assure all of our fans that conversations are constantly taking place and work is constantly going on. But we'll have to wait and see when January comes around, what's there and what we can actually buy.
Ryan Brewster is one of those names that's been linked. Ryan Brewster. Jurgen Klopp's come out and said he's thinking about in terms of an option for a loan. Forwards who've been linked with beforehand. Would that be an option you'd viably consider?
Well, he's a good player, there's no doubt about that. The only thing that would concern me there is that I don't know quite how many guaranteed games. So if I was going to speak to Jurgen and he was going to talk to me about, I want Ryan Brewster to go out on loan and play some matches, I'm not 100% certain I could guarantee him that he would be the first name on the team sheet. He would be in competition with the three players we already have, who are experienced players and quality players. So I'm not 100% certain that will do anything other than be useful for us in terms of having another player who could come in from time to time and certainly help us out. But if I was Jurgen Klopp and Ryan Brewster, I think I'd want to be going somewhere where I was the first name on the team sheet and I could guarantee that between January and May I'd be playing 20 matches.
And my last one is just a personal one. Obviously, a lot of us enjoy your company week in, week out. I know there was contract.
Very few people do these days.
I know there was contract talks at the beginning of the season. I know you're always thinking and you always take your time with it. But is there any update in terms of your contract situation?
No, not really. I mean, Steve Parish has spoken to me and has indicated that he would be keen for me to stay for another year. I've told him there's no problem with that as far as I'm concerned, but that's as far as we've got so far. So I don't know whether he's had a change of heart or whether it takes a long while to get contracts typed out. I've got no idea, but that's where we are. But he knows that if the club really want me to stay, I'm ready to do so, but I'm also ready to move on if that's what they prefer.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Okay, Siobhan from 5 Live.
Hi.
Hi.
Please very much. Nice to meet you.
I can drink now, can't I? Because
I just wanted to ask you a bit about Wilfried Zaha. Obviously, he got his first goal of the season last weekend. How's he been this week? Was it a weight off his shoulders?
I don't know. I haven't really had that feeling that he's playing and training with a weight on his shoulders. Can't honestly say that I think that's something that I've recognised. I mean, his training's been good. His training's been good for a while now, and also he's given us some good performances recently. So I was really pleased to see him play so well against Liverpool, and to cap that good performance with a goal, which could so easily have been a goal which got us a well-deserved point from the game. So I'm hoping that if he has been feeling a weight in his shoulders, that will have lifted, but it's certainly not a weight that we've added to. If it's any weight at all on his shoulders, it would have been a weight that he put there by himself, because we know that he's going to score goals for us. We know he's going to make goals for us, and our aim always is to keep him in the right physical and mental shape to be Wilf Zaha. And I think that's the case really. For me it's Wilf Zaha, but any manager you talk to will have a player, and if he's lucky, maybe 4 or 5 players like that in the squad, where he knows that this player could be one that can make a difference to us winning and losing the game. And that's where we find ourselves with Wilf, and I'm glad that he's in good form, and I'm glad that he scored his goal, because I think it will lead to many more now.
Also, you mentioned about, obviously you had 5 tough fixtures, now you've got 5 fixtures in the build up to Christmas, which on paper look a bit less difficult. How would you assess them in terms of getting points to move out the table?
Every game you play has got to be a potential game for points, and unfortunately you don't play on paper, and you don't organise and prepare your team with magnets on a magnetic board, which it's about what the 11 individuals who are selected, the human beings, the football players, what they can do on the day against the opponent that you're facing. 5 tough fixtures will be replaced by 5 other tough fixtures, but of course there is a gap, and everyone realises that the quality that the top 5 teams have in their team at the moment, and their ability really to win even close matches with some of the quality performers that they possess, is not something which is open to the whole 20 teams in the league. So I'm just hoping now that we will continue the form and the results that we got before these 5 fixtures, where I think we had 14 points from 8 games, which was a very good return. We've got to try and get back to that level of points return if we want to have a good season. But there's no easy way of doing that, and I certainly am not the one saying and want to be disassociated with. We've had our tough fixtures, now we've got games that are winnable. I thought the previous 5 were winnable. It's just that unfortunately the opponents turned out to be just about good enough to prevent us from winning. And I know that the games coming up, they're winnable too, but they're only winnable if we produce the best of our performances, and we certainly won't be in any way underestimating the quality of our opponents.
Thank you very much.
That concludes the broadcast section. Thank you.